Hello and welcome. It is Wednesday morning, and I'm so excited to be coming to you today with Brandi Wentland. She is an absolute expert in AAC, and she's been doing some amazing things online and also here in Arizona, where I am based. So let's bring Brandi on. Here we go. All right. Good morning, Brandi. How are you?
Morning, I'm doing great. It's great to see you, May.
You also. We are getting some hot days here, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying being out in the pool. I'm so grateful to have that during this hot weather here in Arizona.
Yeah, we're hitting triple digits, and our mornings are not cool anymore.
Oh,
Well, excellent. Well, the reason I wanted to bring you on, and if anyone read the intro that I put on my personal page, is I feel like you're the new kid on the block, and I don't mean dancing, although we love them too. The reason why is I know that you have been in this space for years, but in the last, I'm going to say 8 months, 9 months, you have just come out into the community, building on, of course, what you had already been doing with Out and About, and now with the We Speak AAC pages. And so this is a pretty long intro and we want to get into the thick of it, but I just wanted everyone to know why I'm bringing Brandi on. So could we start with how did you get involved in the AAC community?
great, great question. Sorry. I over 8 homes during one time World Buell.
Hey, Brandi, I'm just going to check with the people that are here with us. Jenny, thank you for joining us. Is your audio breaking up? Because I had some trouble hearing Brandi. If you could just let us know. Anybody in the comments, were you guys able to hear Brandi just now? Brandi, I had some audio breaking up. Is there any way you could use some headphones?
I don't
Nope.
have this. I don't have the AirPods to be able to do that on here.
Okay, that was better though. So I'm going to let you try that again because I don't want to miss any of that juicy info. So go ahead and let us know.
So, in working with homes, one of my was with Laurel Buell, my mentor, therapist, and through that relationship with Laurel, she brought me under her wing, Caroline, White, Wagner, and all these powerhouses. So kind of helped me through the process. With the past year.
Okay, so are you able to see our comments, Brandi?
No, let's see.
If you check on the right-hand side. And my mom's here today. Everyone say hi to Rosalba Chan. She's actually always with us every week, just a little insider information. And then she critiques me afterwards, which is really cute.
Oh, you
You know,
more?
yes, thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it. I love that you're helping us out here. And because it's AAC, I have found that tech experts like Brandi, that they're very cool with this and we just figure it out.
We're gonna sort this out, May.
I know, I know. One time I was going on with Lauren Enders doing Facebook Live, and this was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. And this was when I was trying to get us both on the same screen, but horizontally, so it's very new. And she tried 10 times with me, and then we finally got it going. I mean, that's just how dedicated, everyone is in this space. So very exciting. Okay, so she just got off, so I'm by myself now. But I really do want to thank all of you who have been logging on and joining me every week, which has been amazing. She's coming back. And I love the feedback also. So, what am I doing well? What would you like to hear more of? What's a piece that we should add? All of that feedback is very, very helpful. All right. And Brandi's back with us now.
All right, how's the audio on this?
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's do it one more time. How did you come into the area of AAC?
Oh, well, I was working with children over the age 3 in their homes, and through one of the AAC trainings that the family was receiving, I met Laurel Buell, an occupational therapist and AAC specialist, and she, from that point on, took me under her wing, mentored me, and introduced me to some amazing women in the field. Caroline Musselwhite, Deanna Wagner, and Tammy Taylor all offered to mentor me and take me under their wing. And that's when Out and About East Valley came out. And Deanna let me start that. And really, it's just continued from there.
Excellent. And you just gave a shout out to some amazing, amazing leaders in Arizona. My first sit down with someone to be like, okay, what does this do, was with Laurel Buell. Love her. And then Jane Odom, also, who is with PRC, and she's just an amazing creator of the Language Lab and everything she does. I also found out that Jane Odom is a sorority sister of mine at a different college, also on the East Coast. So, just amazing people in this field. And also that we're in Arizona. I mean, it really is a hot spot for AAC, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely. It truly is. And I feel so grateful that I was led to move here and the people that I've met. I really feel like the giving nature of the people in our field is part of why I've been able to become the clinician that I am.
Beautiful. Okay, tell all of us about Out and About.
Out and About. Well, Caroline Muswhite and Deanna Wagner started Out and about 25 years ago as a social group for AAC users in the community, to both create awareness in the community and also to establish friendships between AAC users, and to provide parents and caregivers and other communication partners an opportunity to see what it's like to implement AAC, to provide aided language stimulation and literacy-rich activities. They had two groups, one in the Central Valley, one in the West Valley. And when I came to know them and meet them and shadow them in their groups, I asked, hey, our East Valley really doesn't have anything like this. And could we start something out there? Caroline said, Brandi, you'd be a natural. We'd love to have you do this.
Yes.
I still have goosebumps over that one. But it's been such an amazing adventure, and all that I've learned from our AAC users themselves, and those leaders that have mentored me through that.
Excellent. I've had the absolute honor to be able to attend a couple of them. Some of the informal ones where we're just going to a restaurant and ordering, which seems like but it's not. It's a really big deal, where staff is coming and we're interacting with them and being specific on what we want, right? Individualized with our orders. And then we also did Christmas caroling 2 years now to this local shopping center area. And it is just wonderful to be connecting in the community, being a part of the giving, just amazing. So thank you for all that you're doing to extend that to a whole nother area of Phoenix, which if anyone knows Phoenix, you can drive, usually it's like an hour and a half from east to west, but it feels like so far away, right? So if you're out in the West Valley, which is, this gorgeous area where the white tanks are, and you go through central Phoenix, then you go out to the east side where Brandi is, it's a hike. And then you want to be there for an event. And so being able to have this in two separate locations is so phenomenal. It really is. And it takes a lot of organization just to do one event. So for all of the people that are involved, I just want to thank everyone. And for everyone that's listening, if you're interested in finding out more, please connect with Brandi, because we need more of this. The generalization, communication with the community. A lot of the people in these groups are adults who are no longer in specialized programs, or they do have like a DTA, which is an adult program, but this gives them the opportunity to get together with other people that are using AAC devices, having success, having their communication partner to be with them, and we can help to model and support communication partner. I could go on and on, obviously.
Really, during the pandemic, it's been amazing to see how that group has grown. It gave us an opportunity to meet the AAC users where they are at in their world. And we're able to meet them in their homes now and do this virtually. And this has allowed our group to really expand. Just prior to the pandemic, we had Out and About Tucson open up. And since the pandemic, we've had some people reach out in Tennessee, and we're hoping to
wow.
Tennessee. We've had people from Thailand and from Brazil join our group. So I feel like for a lot of people, the pandemic has made them feel locked in and feel isolated. But for a lot of our AAC users, we're feeling connected, and we're feeling like we're actually able to get out there and meet people in new places.
I saw that post, and I'm sorry that I can't remember exactly who posted it, but they were saying, everyone's talking about isolation, and then that's how we feel, and so now it's everyone is able to come onto Zoom and connect, and of course our AAC users, they're finding a whole new world out there. So that's been beautiful and amazing. Okay, the reason why everybody's here is to find out from you what's new. So let's get to it. And because we had a little bit of tech issues, I'd like to go over by a couple of minutes. So don't worry about the time. We'll go over about like 2 or 3 minutes, if that's okay with everyone. All right, so Brandi, what's new?
What's new is this AAC social groups, right? We've done it with Out and About, and I've also been doing it through We Speak AAC, creating different social groups virtually through Zoom with various AAC users, and also providing integration. I've been able, because a lot of these students are not in school right now, or their school schedules are changing. We've actually had an opportunity where I've been able to pull people from different places that wouldn't necessarily meet each other before. We've got groups with people from California and Arizona meeting together. And we have been exploring the world. We've been exploring Mexico and Canada and Iceland and Mozambique with our social groups, learning about the culture, the dances, the food, the clothing, different things that are in each of these countries. And we're even learning a little bit about geography in our social groups.
That's excellent. So you're bringing education in at a time when we're so worried about everyone being left behind, you know, literally in getting access to our teachers. Another thing that I've seen, because I popped in, is that Deanna Wagner's coming on. She's an expert in the area. And so because it's virtual, you could basically have anyone come and join and be a part of this, of the program, right?
Absolutely. Lauren Enders popped into one of our sessions, and Sean out of Canada popped into one of our sessions. Deanna and I have been able to help each other a lot more with our groups. Instead of being, you know, Deanna's Central Valley, Caroline's West Valley, and I'm East Valley, now we're able to merge our Out and About groups and help one another in those groups and create breakout sessions.
That is absolutely amazing. So when we say new, what's the newest component of these social groups? So, you know, when I've been there, I've seen like there's a topic, and these are the vocabulary words that we want to use, and they're pre-programmed. You know, how does that now move over to the virtual space?
Well, you know, there have been a lot of really fun activities, and like I said, you know, since we can't actually go somewhere together physically as a group, sometimes we're exploring virtually a place that we haven't been able to go to before. You know, when we were meeting physically in a space, it had to be someplace that is in reasonable proximity for everyone to drive to. Now, we could go to Mozambique if we want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explore, and we can get on a plane together and simulate what that's like, and help reduce that anxiety of travel through virtually traveling ahead, and also creating that excitement of what are the pieces of this that are motivating to you of travel, what are things that are interesting to you, and get right to that without all of the things that create anxiety.
That's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Some of the fun things we've been able to do is practical jokes. You know, if you're in the house all day long with a lot of family members, we've got to find some way to bring some levity to the situation. So Caroline Musselwhite created a Teachers Pay Teachers bookette, and we expanded on that and created a social group and an Out and About group, all on practical jokes and how do we implement that with AAC in the home, in real environments with caregivers and communication partners.
Mm-hmm. Now that's really important. So we've been talking a lot about coaching the communication partner, and it was really hard for us to do that in the past because we couldn't actually get access, you know, to the parent, to the spouse, to the IA, whoever it is that is working with them. So now that you have the person who is participating, how are you preparing and helping the communication partner in this virtual space?
You know, I've always believed in the concept of I do, we do, you do. And I really try to do that in all of our sessions. So let me show you what this is like, and I'll do this person so you can see it's possible. Then let's do this together so you don't feel like you're alone, so you know you have someone there to support you and do it with you. And then I'm going to take a step back and let you give it a shot and see how that feels. And then let's talk about it. Let's debrief and see how you can feel more comfortable doing that even when you're not on a Zoom session with me. So I'm finding these caregivers are involved a lot more in these sessions now, and are enjoying that ability to have some of that coaching and that focus right there on the screen, just that picture. There's less distraction, it seems, for a lot of these people that are joining our sessions.
Right. And I'm just going to draw from my own experience is I find that in the older adult years, the communication partner, whether it be a spouse or a parent or a sibling, they're used to kind of reading that person's mind. And so they don't use the AAC device to communicate, right? They just know, you know, whether it's context related or situationally related, like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. So of course, yes, you want the chocolate milk with the special straw. I'll get it for you, right? So now when we've been out in certain environmental situations, the people that they're communicating with don't know how to read their mind. And so we're pushing them to use their device, to use the vocabulary. So how are you making that bridge? Because the only communication partner they have now, because most of us are quarantined and we don't have any place to go, how are you pushing that bridge for the communication partner to be like, no, you have to tell me on your device, or, I'm going to model it and then I want you to use it. How's that going?
So, I think a lot of times when we talk about reading people's minds, we're talking about requesting. And I think that communication is about so much more than that. What's the comment they wanted to say? What's the question they wanted to ask? And I think by creating these motivating activities that are outside of just traditional activities of daily living, of, getting food and taking a bath and needing to use the restroom and that kind of thing. If we're talking about something like a practical joke, do you actually know how someone wants to make a joke?
Mm-hmm.
Know how they want to say gotcha or right? And so by creating these opportunities to give someone a chance to generate their own thoughts, their own comments, their own questions, we're giving them an opportunity to show I have more to say than just requesting. And these communication partners that this person is not only capable of this, but wants to do this, and it can a deeper relationship with the two of you. I think they're starting to see that AAC can be a whole lot more than just the box we put it into, answering a yes or no question or answering a closed-ended question.
Excellent. Thank you so much for clarifying that. That actually brings us perfectly to the next segment, which is the what's next portion. And I believe that's why I am with Cognition. They are bringing together the technology that is going to help the user, the individual, really communicate rich communication in a quicker way and in a more individualized way. So tell us, as an expert in this area, and you've been seeing so much change, what do you see as the future of communication, of AAC?
Oh, the future of AAC. Well, doing these virtual social groups, I've seen that the biggest challenge we have for our AAC users is in Zoom, that their communication systems do not work seamlessly with that. And they're often having to toggle. So they're choosing between seeing the screen and seeing the people they're communicating with and seeing their AAC device and communicating. Or they're having to overcome challenges of utilizing more than one system, one for the video, one for Zoom, and another system for their communication system. And oftentimes then that communication system is not heard well. We had the problem when we first started today, right? With audio.
Perfect example. Yeah.
Exactly. And how frustrating that was for everyone. I can't see you. I can't hear you. Well, can you imagine for a communication partner who is utilizing an AAC system, who's already going through a little more effort to communicate, to also not be heard and have to do that a second or third or fourth time? So I think what's next, I hope what's next, the challenge I put out there to all of the vendors is, let's find a way to meet these users where they're at and make communication more seamless with their systems when they're communicating with people virtually. I think that a lot of them are finding that, even something as simple as making a phone call, maybe for Social Security benefits, or maybe for insurance, or calling a doctor, they need that access. And that whole body communication, that total communication. So I think as vendors, let's think about, as an AAC user, how would I make that phone call to my doctor? How would I make that phone call to Social Security? And how would someone be able to see my facial expression? How would they be able to hear my AAC device? How would they see that I'm composing a message instead of saying, answer me, I didn't hear you, are you still there? While someone's composing.
Excellent, excellent. And I know that story firsthand, and it's not with someone with a disability, but someone who is not as comfortable with technology, they had to get on and talk to their physician. And boy, was that a journey, because they had to, for the first time, have a camera set up and just understand what the waiting room was. I mean, just all of these pieces to it. And now imagine trying to do that with your AAC device. Like you're saying, a lot of times we pre-program sentences because it takes a long time to step that out, right? And now the doctor says, I didn't hear you, can you say that again? It's like, no, I can't. I'm on to the next phrase. Yeah, I love it. Brandi, fantastic. And another great example of how you are leading the industry, bringing together all of your knowledge and helping us to move forward. Just want to thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, thank you for joining us. How can we stay in touch with you, Brandi, with the We Speak AAC group?
I have a Facebook group called We Speak AAC. I'd love it if anyone would want to join on there, and you can communicate with me there. We're in the process of rebuilding our website, so bear with us as we get that out there. We have a lot planned with AAC education for that website, so it's going to take us some time to get that out. But yeah, we'd love to communicate with you in our group. It's an open group for anyone, whether you're a parent, a teacher, or an SLP, or even an AAC user. We Speak AAC is actually comprised of an AAC user and 2 speech language pathologists and an OT.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brandi, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for being patient and staying on with us through our technical glitchy, but we did it. So thanks, Brandi.
Thanks, May.
All right. Want to thank everyone for joining us. And just to remind you that this episode, let me do my little, there we go. This episode has been brought to you by the SpeakPros app, which is powered by Cognition. And it offers an intuitive interface that allows people to express what they want to say using swipes, taps, and eye tracking technology. You can find out more about SpeakPros at speakpros.com, or you can contact me directly for a demo and to get professional access to SpeakPros Pro Plus. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.